6 o'clock, we're calling our meeting to order for August the 19th at 6 p.m. Please note that Councilwoman Valerio is not present this evening. Our Fire Chief, Lanny Armstrong, will lead us in our invocation, and Councilmember Emmanuel Guerrero will lead us in our pledges. If everybody please rise and remove any caps.
Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to assemble and conduct the business of this community. We pray that each person that participates tonight will act in a civil manner and in your spirit. We pray for our first responders as they go about protecting our citizens and our community. We thank you again for this great country. We thank you for this opportunity to assemble in peace. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Councilmember Guerrero.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Like a famous movie, Step Brother said, there's a lot of room for activities. Glad to see everyone's faces, especially you, Mayor. Glad to see you here, strong with us by your side. Thank you, Mayor, for your leadership, and we're glad to have you. Hope all the prayers, and we thank everyone who joined us in unison praying for Mayor Schoenbein. Councilwoman Van Hout, Mayor Pro Tem, did a great job. If things go wrong, blame her. But I want to take a moment to highlight Eliseo Garcia, aka Jerry, who's retiring from the Parks and Recs Department with over 5 years of service. I want to thank him. He's currently not present, but wanted to highlight him. Want to highlight a few back-to-school events that went on. The 10th annual Blue Backpacks giveaway event held at the police department was held this weekend. Want to thank everyone who contributed to that. Summer Styron, Heredia, Fusiler, myself, as well as want to highlight particular people, Fire Marshal Vega, Officer Catalina Cardenas, and retired Officer David Garza and Ronaldo Ibarra. Thank y'all for 10 years strong, over 100 children provided backpacks, 4 backpacks, 4 bicycles given away, and multiple gift cards. A little thank you for those really in need. It's very blessing to be able to give back to those in our community that are struggling. I want to also highlight the 3rd annual Guerrero event that took place this weekend as well, servicing over 150 students in the community with multiple haircuts, multiple back-to-school items, backpacks given out. I want to thank everyone who participated in that. It's an honor to be able to give back to our community. Want to highlight the work being conducted on Jenkins, drainage improvement there, actually sewage improvement correction. I wanted to highlight all the diligent work there. It is in its final phases. We wanted to kind of finish it right before school started. We got it close, but I want to thank their efforts, especially with this hot sun outside. They're more committed than I am. And I wanted to shout out Christina Womack. She's outside from the Pasadena Chamber of Commerce for hosting her Constituent Connect, a very ample and great program and event that helped all members, local businesses, residents connect with their local elected officials as well as county and state officials that are present. So thank you for that, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Van Hout.
Got something a little different tonight. The Central Library is having a program tomorrow, Wednesday, August 20th, about invasive species, like the hammerhead flatworm, which will eat earthworms. If you find them in your garden, do not cut them up to kill them, because each piece can grow into another one. Learn to recognize various garden problems and what you should do. That's at 5:30 Wednesday. The main door to the library is closed for construction, so go in the side facing the police station and the courts.
Thank you, Ms. Pat. Councilman Estrada.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to encourage a civil and respectful meeting today. And as well, I'm glad to have you back, Mayor, and I'm glad you're doing well, and Bonnie for being there. I want to recognize our Parks Department, our Parks Director. We've just always been fortunate to have good Parks Directors, and Jason Ross has been really helpful, and partnering and getting things done at Strawberry Park. If you don't know, Strawberry Park is all in my district, and I'm proud to have Strawberry Park, and I'm always looking for opportunities to improve Strawberry Park, and we added some lighting on one side of the park, and so I'm very thankful for that, and thankful for the mayor's office for their continued partnership with me and my district. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Dow.
Thank you, Mayor. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to take a moment to say that we are all glad to see the mayor back on his feet from the hospital and recovering well. So a quick update on some progress we're making in District F and throughout the city. As many of you know, we've been planning a series of overlay projects to improve our roads and overall infrastructure. These projects are officially underway. You'll start to see crews out there making those improvements, which will make a noticeable difference that we're all looking forward to. Thank you for your patience and support as we get these improvements rolling. With that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Fuchler.
Good evening, and it is great to see you back, Mayor Shanebine. I just wanted to shout out Mayor Pro Tem Pat Van Hout for running a great meeting 2 weeks ago. So at the meeting, I had one of my residents come and share some concerns, and I'm happy to report, thanks to several different people in different departments, that yesterday I was driving after getting my kids from school, and they have already added sidewalks where there was missing sidewalks so that the gentleman can get to the places that he needs to. And also today there was a meeting, thanks to the Parks Department, and trying to get him back in the rides program so that he can have transportation. So I just wanted to say thank you to all the different departments. Ms. Jessica Ramirez was very helpful in that. And to see concrete being poured, to see this man apply for the program again, it was encouraging to see action being taken. So I just want to thank everybody that was involved in that. And thank you, Mayor Pat.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Styron.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out tonight. It's good to see a packed house here tonight. We're glad to have Mayor back tonight. Welcome back. And Pat, you did a great job 2 weeks ago. Appreciate it.
So I'd like to say a few words this evening. I want to thank everyone for their thoughts and prayers. Councilman Heredio, please speak.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm glad you're back. Thank everyone for being here. I appreciate you guys. It's a packed house. I want to give an update on our district, and I want to thank you for the partnership that we've established in such a short time. Due to that partnership, we've been able to get some sidewalks done on Texas and Munger. We've been able to get some overlay projects on Center Street, and we actually broke ground on Texas and Harris. Those are major intersections, major improvements coming to our district with such a short time. There was also some lighting improvements that just happened a few days ago. So I want to appreciate the partnership that we've been able to work together and for the better of our city. And so I thank you for that. Welcome back, and welcome everyone here, and hopefully we'll have a great meeting tonight. With that, I pass.
Thank you. I'm going to try this again. I want to say thank you to all my council members for their thoughts and prayers. Ms. Pat, thank you for your leadership while I was out. I did hear you did an outstanding job, so I appreciate that. But I have to give one special thanks, and it's to my wife. You know, it's truly a God thing when your wife stands by you and protects you and shields you and gets you through emergencies, medical emergencies. But I can't thank my wife enough. Bonnie, I love you, and I'll try to do better as a husband. So I do love you. So with my final thought, citizens wishing to speak to council, our council meetings have gone out of control over the last several years. And it's time to reel those our council meetings back in. So if you're signed up to speak tonight, and we have quite a few folks signed up to speak tonight, you will address council, and then you will not address people in the audience. And if you do, you will be warned. And if you do not follow the warning, I will ask one of my officers to escort you out. We have had 4 years of chaos in this council chambers, and we're reeling it back in effective tonight, and we're going to respect one another. Our council members are in full agreement. Our citizens deserve this. So with that being said, if you come up and speak, please take off your hat, address council, No other members in the audience are you to address. You will be warned. Okay, so our first person is Richard Collins. Richard Collins. And you do have 3 minutes, sir.
Yes, sir, thank you. I'm glad you recovered.
Thank you.
I hope, hey, look, I have nothing against anybody here in the council. I have nothing against anybody in the police force here, okay? The police serve a valuable function, okay? But in 1976, Pasadena was a whole different place. I'm sure there's a lot of good, honest people here, okay? Danny Stevens was arrested, and he died in jail. Jazimski, or whatever his name is, I call him Chimnimsky, because to me he's a trained monkey. Okay? But he ruled it as a suicide. But if you look at his pictures, the pictures that were provided with his autopsy and everything else, his feet were standing straight up. His feet were flat on the ground. The strap that was holding him up was tight. It's virtually impossible for someone to get their head in that and to hang themselves. You know, and I was looking up today about cameras in the jail. Okay, in 1976, they didn't have a lot of rules about cameras. You know, and the cameras didn't come into effect until later, after 1976. So the whole point is, it's like, there's no real proof that Danny Stevens even made it into the jail alive. You know, they say he escaped and ran and came and they caught him. But there's no proof of that. There's no cameras. There's no nothing. You know? And it's like, I'm gonna do an autopsy. I'm gonna get an autopsy done by an outsider. So the question is if you people are honest, if you people want justice, is it better for you to clean your house, or is it better for somebody else to clean your house? Because it's gonna happen. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Eric Sanchez.
Yeah, just to reiterate a list of these persons. According to Pasadena Citizen newspaper in 1971, Willard Russell Considine, a 57-year-old Army veteran, was pulled over and arrested for expired sticker and DWI. But a Pasadena officer, Wheeler, states he was found sitting in the vehicle and arrested only for public intoxication. But an officer, Timmons, states he was arrested for DWI, expired registration, and an investigation of auto theft. The next morning, he was found hanged with his shirt in a sitting position in the Pasadena jail. Then in 76, Daniel Stevens was found hanged in the jail while he was being held for investigation of burglaries, allegedly because a boy named Bruce Wayne Parker implicated him in burglaries of automobiles in a written statement, which has disappeared. But that's not all that's disappeared. Also missing is the 1976 to 78 docket books of the Justice of the Peace Court, Precinct 8, Position 1. The missing book entries start at April 27, 1976, just one day before Danny is arrested, and is the only way to establish if he was ever legally detained. And notably, in the existing book prior to April 27, Bruce Wayne Parker's April 12, 1976 arrest, the same exact day Richard Wayne Collins was arrested, the only person proven to be detained who knew Danny's name, his arrest is absent. Bruce Wayne Parker also vanished from Harris County Jail in 1984, never to be accounted for. Not only are those docket books missing, but almost every docket book between 1976 to 1978 of every precinct of Harris County is gone. That is at least 16 2.5-inch thick books weighing a minimum of 40 pounds vanished. Those books would establish the victims of all the in-custody hangings throughout Harris County throughout those years, if they were even being held lawfully, and not just written in after the fact in district court records. The 1991 morgue book, where Officer Ging's gunshot wound details would be, is also missing. The 1994 JP docket is also missing. That book would contain Moises de la O's charges to establish if he was legally held when he was found hanging in the same padded cell Danny was found in, with the wires of the very camera installed after Danny's death, while the camera was out for repairs. The lights had been conveniently covered with tape for painting. Moises was left alone in a room with little visibility of his dead body hanging in the corner of the room, as he was unresponsive when his wife and child called out to him through the viewing window while visiting him. You can't look at all this and claim they're all coincidences. It is clear to any logical person all these people's deaths were not simply suicides. The chief medical examiner, Joseph Chakimchik, was forced to overturn 7 rulings by 1994. His rulings cannot be relied on. If you truly are persons of God, you'll investigate these cases, take action, as you've stated that you would. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Stephen Alvarez.
So I'm going to start with the reason why I'm always here, and the reason is because I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I'm a son to a mom who suffered from dementia, and I did everything I could as a human being to take care of my family, just as anybody should, anybody would. I see Mr. Shanebine here, and many know that he ran on the promise of correcting the permit department, knowing that there's issues. That was his big, huge speech up there. And are we dealing with another politician that just says one thing, and once they jump in office, they forget what they said? All of a sudden, they only remember what they want to say in front of the cameras, and forget those who went out of their way to vote for them. So as a human being that fights for other human beings, just doing the right things, trying to make sure your family goes to church, he said it up here. Thank God that he's here with us today. And by him saying that, he understands that I pray every day that I can remain, take care of my family. And I was promised. I talked to him in person. And he said, hey, this corruption with the permitting department, this abuse of power is going to come to a stop when I become mayor. I looked at him in the eyes, and I said, wow, I want to see that happen. But has it happened? Nope. Another false promise by another politician in the U.S. But let me tell you who he does help. Let me tell you who he goes out of his way to help. And this is all because of the power of the Freedom of Information Act. If y'all get out and read and request the information, you'll get it in your hands. Just like Wayne Delchafino. He does his homework, gets the true data. Thomas went out of his way, and Thomas has a daughter like I do. I have 2 daughters. Thomas has a daughter. But Thomas goes out of his way to help out Michael Pelletz. Michael Pelletz is a PPD officer and a sergeant, if I'm correct. And in January, he was terminated for harassing a female officer, making it a toxic environment for the female officer. Not only was he fired, but our tax dollars went to pay for his conduct. Almost $100,000 went to pay for her settlement. But Shanebine here, when he gets
Your time's up, sir.
oh,
Thank you.
goodness. Shanebine hired him again.
Sir, you're out of order.
We're gonna pay for it. We're gonna pay for that.
One more outburst, sir, and I'll have you escorted out. Mr. Bubba Wilcox.
Mayor, I'm glad you're all right, buddy. You gave everybody a scare. I was here for the swearing of all of you. Congratulations. I'm so happy that I'm back at Pasadena Golf Course. I got banned for a while. Don't know why I did, but I did. There's nobody that loves that course more than Bubba Wilcox. I'm there all the time. I marshaled out there for a little over 10 years. I probably play more than anybody out there. It's a great place. You ought to see the attitude now of the people out there. I tell you what, it's like night and day. It's the guys want to be to work, and they're just happy as heck. And it's good to see. It's great to see. You know, we don't have the Pasadena Rodeo Tournament out there anymore. I've always been involved in that. I've always played. I've always spent my money on it. I'm gonna get it back out there. I'll get it back out there. Clint Costello, he'll probably be the chairman of the board now. Got a new president, but I promise you, I'll have him back out there. Why does Pasadena need to go anywhere else? This is Pasadena. And the kids, I mean, my gosh, the Pasadena school kids having to go to Deer Park to hit golf balls, or go to Bay Forest, or go to Green Tea. That's ridiculous. That's a slap in the face. If my kid would have been doing it, I promise you, everybody knows me. I ain't hard to figure out. I'd be right in somebody's face, getting some answers on this. There's a lot of things I can't say because I'm pretty, I get really rattled up. And I really didn't have a speech. I just wanted to come out here and represent Pasadena because I love that golf course. I really do. And I love them people there. They're my buddies. They're my friends. And I'll protect them any way I can. You know, my wife told me to leave all this alone a long time ago, but that ain't in me. And I'm proud of myself because I hadn't cussed yet. I usually talk a lot of garbage, but I'll tell you what, I just want to stand in front of y'all and tell you how happy I am. That's all I got to say. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Mr. Ralph Morrissey.
I'll take my hat off, but the shine might be a problem.
Thank you, sir.
I had a prepared speech tonight to deal with civility in this chamber. But thank you, Mayor. It looks like you're on top of it. I gave each asked Secretary pass out a packet with what I had to say and information backing it up, Supreme Court decisions, Texas Penal Code, and a copy of Deer Parks. But it looks like that won't be necessary. Instead, I'd like to address something else. Permits. We all know that permits have been a challenge in this city for a long, long time. And those who are in the know realize it's going to take a long time to fix it. It has to do with software, procedures, different departments communicating with each other. It's not something that you, Mayor, can fix in 2 weeks, especially, you know, being in the hospital and all. The difference here isn't really with permits. That is the problem. The problem has to do with deed restrictions. They're two different issues. Permits are given by the city to meet building codes, and that's all. And the city has to rely on people being honest when they submit that permit as to what it is they're intending to do. If you submit a permit saying that you're doing some remodel on your house, instead you build a 2-story apartment building, that is not the city's fault if they issue that permit based on what you initially tell them, only for that person to run into trouble later when the deed restriction violation is brought about and that construction is told to be halted. That's what we're dealing with here. Not permits, not the mayor, but deed restrictions. It's my understanding this individual is asked to meet with each and every one of you. I ask the same courtesy. Should you meet with him, I would ask that you meet with me. And you have my contact information in that packet there. I think it's important that you see both sides of any story in order for you to make an honest decision. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. David Smith. David?
Mayor, I'm going to add my voice and be thankful to God that you have healed, and I'm thrilled. I must confess, I didn't vote for you.
That's
and
okay.
but I'm gonna give you a chance, just like I gave the councilman in District C a chance. And he's proven himself to me. And I'm gonna be counting on that, because I do like the things I'm seeing so far, the things you're saying and what you're doing. And I want you to know, if you keep going down that road, you won me over. So I promise you that. But I want to bring up something that's very important to me, and the councilman there can tell you, I'm always griping. I'd like to see more police patrols in the neighborhoods, because I believe the easiest way to stop a crime from happening is to have these police officers visible. And I'm just not seeing it. I don't see them. I sit up at night. I actually do watch, and I'm just not seeing enough of it. And I really think that would be a major deterrent to crime. It seems like the last week we've been in the news a little bit too much, some violent crimes. And I really believe that can be stopped. And I really, really want to urge you to find a way to get more police patrolling throughout the neighborhoods, because I believe that will definitely improve things a lot. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. Ms. Sherry Free.
Thank you for allowing me to be here. I want to continue with the history of the Pasadena Livestock Show and Rodeo. We started in 1949. The Pasadena Livestock Show and Rodeo was founded, beginning a tradition of supporting local youth through livestock shows and rodeo events. In 1973 to 1974, DC trainer O.L. Harris, Bill Bailey, and Glenn Fleming negotiated a contract with Friendswood Development Company to purchase 35 acres for $2,000 and an additional 45 acres for $3,500 at the corner of Red Bluff Road. The association donates that land and $200,000 in 1974 to the city of Pasadena. That site, located at 7601 Red Bluff, remains the home of the Pasadena Livestock Show and Rodeo today. In 1983, the barbecue cook-off is added to our list of events. In 1991, the barbecue cook-off presents its first concert featuring Brooks and Dunn. In 1997, Deer Park ISD is added to our livestock show. In 1998, the Pasadena Rodeo began a major building program, adding a roof to the arena and constructing a 6,000 square foot storage building that we share with the Pasadena Strawberry Festival. Again, we donated that to the city of Pasadena. In 2000 to 2021, the Pasadena Livestock Show and Rodeo gives back over $500,000 each year to area students. In 2014, Peggy Ferrugi of Crane Rental purchases the Grand Champion steer for $100,000. That is the highest record amount of any single animal at our show. In 2015, we added Clear Creek ISD and LaPorte ISD. We welcome them into our program. In 2024, the Pasadena Rodeo continues to grow, last year contributing $650,000 to our area students in one single year. In 2025, this year, we added Galena Park to our independent school district families. Since 1949, the Pasadena Livestock Show and Rodeo has awarded several $1 million in scholarships and generated over $20 million through the sale of livestock and student projects. What began in 1949 as a vision to enhance Pasadena has grown into a legacy of promoting student success, adding 5 school districts, again, Pasadena ISD, Deer Park ISD, LaPorte ISD, Clear Creek ISD, and Galena Park ISD. Our vision is clear. I'll continue in 2 weeks.
Mr. Alan Fowler. He's coming in. If you just give him a moment, please.
I want to welcome Thomas back. Yeah, we all missed you, Thomas, and thank God that you made it through. Just want to tell you that Councilwoman Van Hout did a great job in your presence. Don't take off again. She was good. She took control of this, and I really appreciate it. And you just mentioned about what you guys decided to do about getting the meetings under control. Well, you talked about half of it. The other half is the instigation coming from this side of this podium. And I just want to, I'm here to talk about this because I burnt my feet up here. You guys can look at the shoes I'm wearing. And I know I'm a little bit late talking about this, but I wanted to come back and address it because it just isn't right. Robert Jeter, many of you know him, he chose to stop attending these meetings because he doesn't feel safe. He was verbally ambushed by a councilman who walked up on him and uttered what amounted to fighting words. He did that in front of Councilman Van Hout. The councilman basically pleaded with the police to arrest Robert, and they put handcuffs on him. Then, 2 weeks later, the unprofessional councilman stands behind Robert and once again tries to pick a fight, which I have on audio on my YouTube channel, Code 77060. I was right there, and he tried to go after me, too. Don't know why. And just speaking of unprofessional, I usually don't go with rumors and things like that. I check them out. So I called the mayor of South Houston. During the recent elections, our District C councilman made a highly offensive, crude comment to that mayor at one of their events. The comment amounted to Emmanuel Guerrero recommending knee pads for a South Houston councilman for use when interacting with Rex Lindbergh. On our call last week, Joe Soto, the mayor of South Houston, confirmed that this incident happened. If one of you guys want to call him and ask him, be free to tell you. I don't know how you choose to represent the city like that. That's just embarrassing. Here's some of the unprofessional things that Councilman Guerrero said loudly on audio right back here. I have haters that want to be me, especially the ones that sit in the back. And trust me, sir, you chose this path, and you're self-destructing. No one wants to be you. When I mentioned my own freedom of speech to address these comments to a police officer who was back there, Guerrero said, freedom of ignorance is allowed. Freedom of ignorant people that keep talking who think they are something but are nothing is allowed. Cowards are allowed. Let me get this straight. In my 64 years, I've never thought about being in politics. I choose to give back and get involved in different ways. Everyone in this room did the same. Because we did not choose to be a politician doesn't mean we are nobody and don't deserve respect. Then Guerrero went on this weird attempt at
Point
back
of order,
here.
Mayor, multiple,
Overruled. Continue.
Then Guerrero went on this weird
point of
attempt.
order, Mayor,
Time
mention
is up. Thank you.
My time can't be up.
Your time is
I
up.
barely started
sir.
talking.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I didn't get to the drop kick bully thing.
Yes, sir. Mr. William Taylor.
He just spoke.
Order. Mr. William Taylor.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. I'm here to ask that Pasadena take the lead in responsibly regulating cannabis for adults 21 and older. Prohibition didn't work. You can see that with alcohol. All it is the black markets will always thrive without regulation. By legalizing and taxing cannabis, Pasadena could generate between $2.3 to $3 million annually, and funding schools, roads, and infrastructure, and lowering property taxes for families of Pasadena. In Dallas-Fort Worth, they have passed a charter saying that charter reform decriminalizing small possession, reducing unnecessary arrest, and allowing police to focus on serious crime. Pasadena has the chance to modernize its policies in the same way. Cannabis also provides medical relief for veterans, cancer patients, and the sick while creating hundreds of local jobs from cultivation to retail to logistics, and offering safer alternatives from opioids and dangerous drugs like fentanyl. Mayor, this is a chance for Pasadena to show vision, compassion, and leadership. Even one dispensary could bring our city millions of dollars, hundreds of jobs, and stronger schools. Let's not leave the future on the table. God bless, and God bless the city of Pasadena.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Nikki Hunt? Nikki Hunt?
Good evening. Mayor and members of the council, my name is Nikki Hunt, and I came to you today to respectfully ask you to set aside the recent termination of Tonda Kuhn because it was both unjust and in direct violation of the city charter. Mrs. Kuhn worked for the city of Pasadena with an excellent reputation, no write-ups, no disciplines, no performance improvement plan. Her evaluations were consistently above reproach, yet without warning, she was terminated in less than 48 hours. Her health insurance was cut off just 13 days later. Her 240 comp hours were forfeited, and she lost her chance to vest in retirement after more than 3 years of service, just a year and a half short. The charter is clear under Article 3, Section 8. The mayor may suspend or terminate any employee only if notice is given to the council within 10 business days at a regular meeting. Mrs. Kuhn was terminated on July 18th. The next council meeting was on August the 5th, 12 days later. That failure means the mayor acted outside the legal authority in Texas. Even though employment at will, in Texas, even though employment at will is recognized, courts recognize the city's charter control when it comes to termination procedures. By missing that deadline, the termination is unlawful. The charter is not a suggestion, it is the law in this city. Under Article 12, Section 20, any willful violation of the charter is considered malfeasance in office. This is very serious. It means an elected official cannot exceed his authority without accountability when this occurs, which it did in this case. The consequences are clear. The official immediately forfeits their office. I raise this not to be confrontational, but to remind us all that the charter applies equally to every city officer. If employees like Mrs. Kuhn are held accountable to the rules, then surely the mayor must also be held accountable when he violates the charter. Beyond a charter violation, this action failed every principle of fairness. The employee handbook calls for progressive discipline and due process. Mrs. Kuhn received neither. Allegedly, her offense was not providing excellent customer service. That was never investigated, and she was never given a chance to respond. By contrast, no similarly situated employee has ever been terminated under such a vague claim, especially with a spotless record like hers. Council, I ask you to do what is right. Mrs. Kuhn's termination was not only unfair, it was illegal under the governing charter. I respectfully request that you set it aside, restore her employment, and send a clear message that in Pasadena, the law and fairness apply to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Carl Kuhn? Kahn?
Thank you for having me today. We appreciate everything. My name is Carl Kuhn. My wife is Tonda. We've been married for pretty close to 40 years. I know how she is. She's a great woman. And as Nikki would say, I think also she was wrongfully terminated versus the charters. So we truly hope that the city council and the mayor revisit this and look at the city council, the charters. But before I get into the termination, I just want to say that my wife is a dedicated person, not only to her family, but she was dedicated to the city of Pasadena's golf course. She upheld the most standards. She wanted to make that golf course great. She wanted to make that golf course money and be profitable. She has integrity. If she says she's gonna do something, she's gonna do it, and she has, and she's proven herself. She has respect for the law. She has respect for authority. So that she raised 3 beautiful boys. We taught all our boys to be hard workers, just like she was. She would never ask anybody on the golf course to do anything that she wouldn't do herself. Did she know all the golf things and everything else like that? Probably not. But you know what? She was there. She learned it. She strived to do that. She gave people time off. She worked her butt off, and she took everybody in, all the people. how do I say that? She had respect for all of them and worked around their schedules, and I watched my wife work late at night and early in the morning. So I appreciate you guys having us out here. Again, please look at the articles that were mentioned earlier. We appreciate that. I do believe it was wrongful termination. She was told to come in and possibly do a positive reinforcement with her director of parks to the mayor. And then all of a sudden, when she went there after we had our fourth grandson, they said you either had two options. You either resign or get terminated. And she said, I'm not going to resign. And you said, then you're terminated. And it was on poor customer service. I've been a marshal out there. There've been a lot of people coming out to that golf course. It's been very profitable. I'm not going to get into the he said, she said piece because there's a lot of people that probably disagree with her, but I've seen it. People appreciate the golf course. They appreciate everything that she's done and her staff has done, and I think she's an excellent leader. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Okay, presentations of minutes for August 5th. Motion Estrada, second Guerrero. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Progress payments. Motion Guerrero. Second Styron. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Finance resolutions. Motion Guerrero, second Heredia. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Personnel changes A and C. Motion? Motion Guerrero, Fuchler. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. At this time, we will consider a ruling on the recommendation of suspension. Ms. Amanda, can you read that?
Consideration and ruling on the recommendation of the Suspension Appeals Board upholding the termination of Tonda Kun.
Okay. May I have a motion to suspend the rules to allow agenda item 17, city boards and commission reports, to be considered immediately following agenda item number 21 in executive session? Motion Estrada, second Guerrero. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Final readings, Madam Secretary?
I am glad I'm not reading all of these again.
Yes, you did last time.
Ordinance 2025-148, Ordinance 2025-149, Ordinance 2025-150, Ordinance 2025-151, Ordinance 2025-152, Ordinance 2025-153, Ordinance 2025-154, Ordinance 2025-155, Ordinance 2025-156, Ordinance 2025-157, Ordinance 2025-158, Ordinance 2025-159, Ordinance 2025-160, Ordinance 2025-161, Ordinance 2025-162, Ordinance 2025-163, Ordinance 2025-164, Ordinance 2025-165, Ordinance 2025-166.
Motion Dow, second Guerrero. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Madam Secretary, first readings, please.
Ordinance 2025-167, authorizing approving agreement by and between Harris County, Texas and the City of Pasadena, Texas, relating to the June 7, 2025 joint runoff election being conducted by Harris County. Ordinance 2025-168, an ordinance authorizing approving the purchase by the City of Pasadena, Texas of one 2026 Ford F-450 regular cab two-wheel drive truck from Silsby Ford utilizing the TIPS Cooperative Contract Number 240901 and appropriating the amount of $111,339.05. Ordinance 2025-169, an ordinance authorizing approving a 12-month contract between the City of Pasadena, Texas, and Municipal Emergency Services, LLC, for the purchase of Scott self-contained breathing apparatus and accessories, including replacement parts, service and maintenance, testing, and repairs. Ordinance 2025-170, an ordinance authorizing approving a contract between the City of Pasadena, Texas and Midwest Veterinarian Supply Incorporated for the purchase of veterinarian pharmaceuticals and medical supplies by the City of Pasadena for a period of 1 year. Ordinance 2025-171, an ordinance authorizing approving contract for the purchase of fleet management software using GSA contract number 47QTCA23D0054 from Faster Asset Solutions and appropriating the amount of $159,687.57 from account number 20300-7921. Ordinance 2025-172, an ordinance amending ordinance 2025-92, which authorized and approved the purchase by the City of Pasadena, Texas of body-worn camera systems from Utility Associates.
Motion by Dow. Second by Styron. Councilman Styron, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Madam Secretary, we have 4 that need to be read separately, and there'll be roll call votes. So if we could start with the resolutions, please.
Resolution 2025-146, a resolution setting a public hearing in the council chambers, City Hall at 10:00 a.m., September 2nd, 2025, for the purpose of hearing any interested citizen on the proposed fiscal year 2026 budget for the City of Pasadena, which begins October 1st, 2025, and ends September 30th, 2026. Any person may attend and participate in such hearing.
Motion, Ms. Van Hout. Second, Estrada. Any questions? Okay, we'll now proceed to a roll call vote. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero. Aye. Councilman Van Hout. Aye. Councilman Estrada.
Aye.
Councilman Dow. Aye. Councilman Fuchler.
Aye.
Councilman Styron. Aye. And I'm as aye as well. Motion carries.
Resolution 2025-147, a resolution acknowledging the Texas Tax Code Section 2601A1 estimated 2025 taxable value of all property in the City of Pasadena, Harris County, Texas, approving posting of notice about 2025 tax rates, and designating the Harris County Tax Assessor Collector as the responsible official to prepare the no new revenue and voter approval rates, providing for a repealing clause, providing a severability clause.
Motion Guerrero.
Second.
Second, Councilman Heredia. Any questions? Roll call vote. Councilman Heredia.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero. Aye. Councilman Van Hout. Aye. Councilman Estrada.
Aye.
Councilman Dow.
Aye.
Councilman Fuchler.
Aye.
Councilman Styron.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well.
Resolution 2025-148, a resolution by roll call vote for the purpose of voting to propose a 2025 tax rate of 0.465586 $100 value for the City of Pasadena.
May I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion Estrada, second Fuchler. Any questions? Roll call vote. Councilman Heredia.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Van Hout. Councilman Estrada.
Aye.
Councilman Dow.
Aye.
Councilman Fuchler.
Aye.
Councilman Styron.
Aye.
I'm an aye as well.
Resolution 2025-149, a resolution by, excuse me, Mayor, I have to read something really quick before I do that. The City Council is meeting at City Council Chambers in City Hall on Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025 at 10 a.m. and on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025 at 6 p.m. to vote on the 2025 property tax rate. Resolution 2025-149, a resolution by roll call vote authorizing the city secretary to publish a notice of meeting to vote on tax rate.
May I have a motion? Motion Styron.
Second.
Second Dow. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilman Heredia.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Van Hout. Councilman Estrada.
Aye.
Councilman Dow.
Aye.
Councilman Fuchler.
Aye.
Councilman Styron. I'm an aye as well. Motion carries. Miss Amanda?
Resolution 2025-150, authorizing the mayor of the city of Pasadena on behalf of the Pasadena Police Department to accept monetary donations from Pasadena Chiropractic and Rehab $1,500. Space City Capital Pasadena, $1,500. Mike Law, $1,000. Walmart, $500. Food donations from McDonald's valued at $1,026.40. Jeremiah's Italian Ice, valued at $230. Did Meat Company, valued at $238.40. And service donations from Urban Air Trampoline and Adventure Park Webster, valued at $279.40. Houston Museum of Natural Science, valued at $3,995. Skate World Deer Park, valued at $1,100. Armadillo Lanes, valued at $480, and Gardner and Martin, valued at $595.75. All donated for the 2025 Pasadena Police Summer Camp for a combined total value of $14,445.95. Resolution 2025-151. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Pasadena, Texas, confirming the mayor's appointment of Jessica Ramirez and Chief M.P. Jackson to the Neighborhood Network Matching Grant Review Board to fill the vacancies currently existing on the board. Resolution 2025-152, accepting an in-kind donation of prizes for bingo event valued at $155 from McKinnis Fox Health Insurance Brokers for use by the Parks and Recreation Department in connection with Madison Job Senior Center. Resolution 2025-153, accepting an in-kind donation of snacks for movie and snacks event valued at $150 from San Jacinto Funeral Home for use by the Parks and Recreation Department in connection with the Madison Job Senior Center. Resolution 2025-154, authorizing approving the donation of a used SCBA air breathing compressor, serial number 06P-2118, by the Pasadena Fire Department Fire Station Number 10 to the Forest Bend Fire Department, a department serving approximately 6 square miles in the unincorporated South Harris County. Resolution 2025-155, approving and authorizing the acceptance of $2,500 from Chevron Pasadena Refinery for use by the Parks and Recreation Department. In connection with the Fourth Fest event, funds will be used to pay the rental fees for a misting tent. Resolution 2025-156, accepting a donation of $2,500 from Nippon Chemical Texas Incorporated for use by the Neighborhood Network in connection with Team Up to Clean Up 2025. Resolution 2025-157, accepting a donation of $5,000 from Occidental Chemical Corporation, OxyChem, for use by the Neighborhood Network in connection with Team Up to Clean Up 2025. Resolution 2025-158, a resolution authorizing approving the mayor on behalf of the city of Pasadena, Texas, to execute the attached Purdue-Sackler opioid state settlement, subdivision participation and release form.
So moved by Councilwoman Van Hout. Second by Councilman Fuchler. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, we're going to close the meeting to go into our executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074, discussing the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassessment, duties, discipline, or disciplinary of a public officer or employee. We'll now dismiss to go into executive session. Calling this meeting back to order. Conducted a private hearing at the request of Tonda Kuhn for consideration of appeal of her termination from employment. Tonda Kuhn appeared in person and with assistance of her attorney and was provided the right to be heard. The board heard all witnesses, exhibits, and evidence presented by Tonda Kuhn and the city and considered all the facts and the applicable laws and rules. And after the conclusion of the hearing, the Suspension Appeals Board unanimously voted for a recommendation to council to uphold the termination of Tonda Kuhn. Shortly, I will ask if there's a motion. Asking for a motion would be to uphold the termination, as would be a second to the motion. Further, a vote yes would be voting to uphold the termination. A vote no would be voting against the termination. Have a motion by Councilman Guerrero. Have a second by Councilman Fuchler. We will now do a roll call vote. Councilman Heredio. Councilman Guerrero. Councilman Van Hout. Councilman Estrada.
Aye.
Councilman Dow.
Aye.
Councilman Fuchler. Councilman Styron. Motion is upheld. And Madam
Mayor,
Secretary,
your vote, please.
oh, I'm a yes. Aye. This concludes our city council meeting. God bless and have a safe evening.